Hi, welcome to a Waltham Abbey Greens news update. It's been a while since the last one, a lot's been happening, so let's just crack on. Waltham Holy Cross Primary School, there's been a campaign there since March, maybe April, to stop the school being forced to become an academy, and if it is forced to become an academy, to stop it becoming part of the Net Academies network, which is rated 6th worst in the country. The school was told it had to become an academy after an Ofsted report. The Ofsted report has been disputed, but there aren't any official channels to appeal against it, so it's become a much wider campaign. The parents there have done absolutely brilliant work, and the educational journalist Warwick Mansell has done brilliant work, and last week Aditya Chakraborty from the Guardian published an article which has really raised the profile of the campaign and highlight some of the wider issues behind it. Academisation is basically a Tory scheme to privatise state education. It's nothing more than that. Academy schools don't do any better than state-run schools. It's just a way of giving jobs to the boys, you know, giving people nice big pay packets for doing jobs that used to be done by local education authorities. So yeah, that's a political aspect to it, but more important to the parents and the teachers and the pupils at Waltham Holy Cross is what it would mean for their education. As you may know, there's been a big campaign to stop Next plc building a massive great distribution centre on 85,000 square metres, I think it is, of greenbelt land, which is current greenbelt land, just south of Waltham Abbey, quite close to where the Sainsbury's depot currently is. I mean, an extra 700 plus HGVs on our roads every day, hundreds, possibly thousands of other vehicle movements. It would also mean a loss of habitat for several endangered species which are on the land at the moment. Next have said that it will bring jobs in, but research shows that the jobs they'll bring in, firstly, they're hedging their bets with the figures. They say 955 jobs, but they've got nothing to back that up whatsoever. Secondly, experience shows that a lot of those jobs will go to people outside the area. Thirdly, they'll be putting people out of work in the current site in South Ockendon and maybe Hemel Hempstead. Fourthly, the figures they say about investment to the area through business rates, etc., and through people spending in the area are utter hogwash. And you know, there's a bit of greenbelt land at the minute. It's scheduled to be taken out of the greenbelt in the local plan, but there's growing opposition to that. But anyway, if that greenbelt land does have to be used, there's no reason it has to be used for a bloody great distribution centre. There are other sources of employment and other types of small businesses that could use that land in a much more environmentally friendly way, in ways which are much more in keeping with Waltham Abbey. We've got a great little town here. You know, do we really want it to be circled by distribution centres and warehouses? Probably not. Buses, hey, the perennial buses. Although the Epiphanes Transport Action Group did quite well to get the County Council to agree in principle to subsidising late evening buses, unfortunately the County Council said they haven't got the money for it. They seem to find the money to extend and widen roads, but they can't find it for buses. There you go. Other things have happened since then. As you're probably aware, EOS buses unfortunately have had to pull out of running local services. Their insurance costs doubled, and there was just no way they could keep going. I personally am really going to miss EOS. You know, I'd much rather give my money to a local business than Arriva, who are taking over. And Arriva are part of the German state-owned public transport system. You know, we haven't got state-owned public transport here, but we're giving our money to Germany's. But hopefully Arriva will be able to provide better services and more reliable services. They do have the money behind them, they've got the infrastructure. So, you know, it could be good for public transport, but I feel really sorry for Chris and everyone at EOS who have worked so hard. Fundamentally, we need more money to the county council from the central government so they can afford to subsidise local services, so we can reduce fares, have better services. Right, Waltham Abbey Community Campaigns is a new group that's been set up initially to campaign against the next development, but we're widening our scope a little bit. It's pretty clear that we needed a local campaigning body that isn't connected to a political party, and they can just bring different campaigns together, such as the next campaign, such as the Waltham Holy Cross campaign, and various other things that pop up. You know, it's a pretty broad church at the minute. With the next campaign, People involved in it are everything from eco-socialists like me to Brexit supporting Tory voters. So please get involved. Again, links down below. Right, you might notice I'm wearing a Scratching Post t-shirt, and if you've been following what I get up to at all, you'll know that I volunteer at the Scratching Post once a week, and I'm a big supporter of them. It's a cat rescue centre in Waltham Abbey, close to the Woodbine. They've got their summer craft fair coming up on the 1st and 2nd of September. Please get along if you can. I filmed a bit of video last year at their open day, which I'll pop links to down below, again, as usual. So just a couple of quick notes about slightly wider things. Firstly, dogs don't necessarily need walking if the heat is this intense, but they don't want to be walked if this heat's this intense, so leave them at home. Secondly, hedgehogs and other little animals need liquid, they need water, so please leave a bit out at night. That would help them immensely, and during the day as well, actually. Thirdly, Waltham Abbey is a flood zone. It's got a lot of flooding areas, so if you're going to put a new drive in, please make sure it's permeable. Grass is best, but failing that, just something that's permeable, so your water doesn't just run straight off the driveway into the drain and down and starts flooding the place further downhill. There you go. I think that just about covers it. So have a good August. Probably see you soon. Cheer up.